Welcome back to the AFLW Today Show. Something a little bit different today. Well, Social Gal Spencer's on the camera today. She's over here. Hello,
I am
Spence.
back. Thanks for having me back. Excited to be here.
Yeah, well, you're not the important one, so
No,
get out of the way
I'm
over there,
not.
Spence, just over in the corner. We do have a special guest today. What have we got here? We have footy wife, footy mum, podcaster, activist, marriage celebrant, has a law degree as well, still trying to find a football team to support in the men's competition, and just overall footy lover. Hester Mary Brown, what's up? And I'm going to say Hess because Google said you'd rather be called Hess.
Oh my God, I'm so thrilled with that. My name is Hester and I feel like it's not a common name and so there's no common nickname.
Yep.
And I feel like growing up, my sister calls me Hessie, but I haven't had very many nicknames and I was jealous of them. There's something I love about a nickname. I think it's so fun and familiar and it feels like you know someone. So when I started my own business as a marriage celebrant, I just started slowly changing my email signature.
I love
This
it.
is concerted. I've put so much effort into this, you don't even know. So I start with semi-professional where I'm like, kind regards, Hester Brown. And then by the end I'm like, love Hess. And so now I have all these couples who call me Hess and now people on the internet have started doing it too. So I feel like I've won now. Thank you, Ali.
Shout out to Google and the internet for helping me out with Hess. But
true.
See, Olivia's nickname is Spence. Her name is Olivia Spicer. You think, how would that work? Well, her first month within the business, and we're just going to go off topic straight away. Welcome, Olivia Spencer, to the business.
I'm like, that is not my name.
And
I've
we're
been
like-
called
and we're
Spice
like,
my
well
whole
done,
life.
Spence. Well done.
So now I'm Social Gal Spence.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Actually, Ben got a nickname like that when he was playing at Melbourne, my husband Ben, because he went on, I think it was the Gus and Gorney podcast.
Yeah.
And Gorney accidentally called him Brenny Brown.
And his name is now Brenny.
They call him Brenny.
Yeah.
Love it.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's how the best nicknames come from.
Yeah,
just
I
a
think so
complete
too.
mess around.
Yeah.
So good.
So I want to talk about the marriage celebrant thing before we get into the whole footballing and everything else that goes on that you do. There's a whole lot of stuff that you do. But you got married in Tassie and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want to be a marriage celebrant because that's cool. Is that just the natural progression that we find ourselves in? Or we're just like, I could do this. This is fun.
Yeah. So like you said, I did a law degree first, which I loved. It was super interesting. But I think I knew from pretty early on that I didn't want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I think just the I don't know.
Wearing a pantsuit every day.
It's a lot of hours.
Pantsuit, maybe. No, I don't know. I think it's I really wanted to be a human rights lawyer. I think there's so many amazing things you can do with a law degree, so many ways to help other people, which appeals to me a lot. But I think I realized I would describe myself as butter soft in personality.
I love that.
And I think it probably would have just broken me. I found it so interesting. I'm amazed by what people can do, but I think I just need a gentler way to help others and be involved in community that suits me and gives me a happy life.
Yeah.
So I did my law degree. I knew I didn't want to be a lawyer. Ben had proposed to me sort of in the last year of my law degree. So took a little bit of time off, did a bunch of volunteering after I finished my degree and just kind of prepared for a wedding. And meeting our celebrant, amazing, her name's Merrin, she's from Tasmania, obviously in Hobart, and she kind of changed my life, I guess, in a way. I know, no pressure.
Yeah, right.
But we had the first meeting in person with her and she sort of said to us, oh, sorry, this is the boring stuff. This is where we do the legal paperwork. And I was like, oh, the Marriage Act, 1961.
Yeah, it's so interesting for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was like, this is good stuff. And then just kind of realizing over that process that it had so many things that I love in it, like a little bit of performance. I was definitely a theatre kid at school. I don't have any issue with public speaking, which most people who tell me they would never want to do my job, it's the public speaking side of it.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing neither of you feel, but most people are like, ooh. I love a bit of public speaking. Yeah. But I think mostly, and happiest day of people's life, incredible honour to be a part of. But it's also just connecting.
Yeah.
People share their story with me. They tell me so much about themselves. They let me know them. I see their parents cry tears of joy.
So good.
Just in terms of human connection, I think it's an unbeatable job.
And you signed up to be a marriage celebrant right when the laws changed in 2017. That feels very intentional.
Very intentional, yeah. I sort of said I would do it if the law changed.
Yeah, what was that period like when you were, going through the process and stuff and all that?
The process of getting registered?
Yeah, and then obviously at that time with the laws changing.
Yeah, really interesting. I actually, I don't think I've ever talked about this publicly, but I had a bit of a freak out before Ben and I got married, not because of marrying Ben. That was the easiest decision I ever made in my life. But I really naively thought the laws were going to change before then. So we had quite a long engagement.
Yep.
And I was very certain the laws would change before we got married.
Yep.
And I remember actually telling my mother-in-law, I was like, oh, I just feel like as a bisexual, like only half of me can get married. Like it doesn't feel right to be getting married when if I had fallen in love with someone else, I wouldn't be able to. So I found that quite emotional, and something that my mother-in-law said to me actually meant a lot to me. And she said, no, you're showing people why this matters. Like you have a statement about what marriage means to you within your ceremony. Our celebrant was amazing, like I said, and you make it, aligned with your values, but you show everyone that, young people do still want to get married and this is a right that everyone should have access to because it is something that you care about.
That's really great to hear from you.
Yeah, so then as soon as I think the day that the laws changed officially, I called up the registered training provider and signed up for the course, and that meant that the course was just full of other people who had done the same thing too, so it was pretty slow.
I love it. Let's talk about footy. I reckon let's talk about some dub.
Please.
What's your take on the growth of the game so far and just women's sport as a whole? Because we love the dub.
As a note, listen to this, round 3 has just ended in the W.
Great round.
Great round.
Lots of great games. I could not love the W more. It means so much to me. And I think I see a lot of commentary online of people being like, who cares? Nobody watches it.
They care enough to comment though.
Of course they do.
They're obsessed. Are you kidding me? They care so much.
My mentions are full of it. It's great.
But I love it. It means so much to me. I can't tell you how many times I've cried thinking about AFLW. I grew up watching sport, playing sport, but not footy, and always being connected to sport. But it's so funny when you look back on it and you realise how different it was. Like my dad used to take me all the time to the WNBL.
Yep.
Used to be Dandenong fans.
Nice.
It was amazing. And when I was younger, I used to always say that I wanted to be an actor / dancer / basketball player.
Love it.
My sister and I were she was like, yeah, I'm going to be a teacher / basketball player / And we thought, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But then we realised that was because all of the players had multiple jobs.
Literally the truth.
It
And that's still how it is.
Yeah, it wasn't just some silly kid thing. It was because, you'd go and get a signature from the players afterwards and my dad would be like, oh, yeah, she's a teacher. She does this. So, yeah, it's not make-believe. We just didn't realise that
was a reality.
That was because those players were certainly not getting paid a living wage. They had to do something else. So I think AFLW has changed the landscape of women's sport in Australia, no doubt about it. It's pushed up pay in other sports, pushed up viewership in our sport and other sports. And also just the participation of women and girls at a local level. Isn't it 200% or something? It might even be more. It's just
950 in the last decade.
Astronomical. That's unbelievable. And that's don't we care? Don't we care about young people feeling involved in sport? We know physical health, mental health, socialization benefits of growing up playing sport, team sport, what you learn, what you can learn from meeting new people. There are so many positives of it. It just
I love it. The local game has grown so much for women's footy. I remember I wasn't have the opportunity to play women's footy.
Right?
We had soccer and stuff like that, and that's grown astronomically thanks to the Matildas as well. But just that any girls at the age of 12 now, we're going to start to see that coming through with the W from playing footy since they were younger, not transitioning from basketball players and other sports like that. So we're just going to see the game get better with skills as we progress through time, which is just so good.
No doubt. And I also just love the game where it started. I remember going to the first exhibition matches, just being overcome by how amazing it was, how strong those women were and are, how incredibly talented. I'm so excited about the growth, but I also love the game as it is. I think it's amazing, and those trailblazers and all the people who've come through our game and who were there before it started are so brave and courageous, and they've changed it for everyone else. And I'm so grateful to those people for having the strength to do that. For something that I find amazing in sports is the stories behind it.
Yeah,
with my husband, he was rejected from 3 drafts before he was eventually drafted. And I think that changed who he was as a person and a player. It's that resilience. It's having to believe in yourself when no one else does. And I think those stories are interesting and heartwarming to watch as well. And when you look on an AFLW field, I'm not sure you're seeing anyone who hasn't had no said to them 500 times along their journey. You're seeing so much resilience and strength and like personal fortitude as well as talent and skill that I think the stories within it are so strong. And they mean a lot to so many people.
I love it.
But I think the game's in amazing shape, personally. I love watching it.
We're at a stage now where, and it's been noticeable the last few weeks, we're at the stage, because it's only 10 years old, so it's basically still an embryonic stage where every week, every season, for the next probably 5 or 6 years, we will see a new record broken in some way, shape or form. In the last 2 weeks, we have seen biggest wins by clubs, the highest score in AFLW ever, 7 goals kicked in a game. The leading goal kicker this year will kick more than the 21 goals that is currently the leader this year. Every year for the next 5 or so years until we hit that eventual dream phase that we've all got of having 17 to 18 rounds of footy a year, records will be broken week on week. And it's great.
It's amazing. It's so cool. I'm obsessed.
With the AFLW, obviously, a lot of teams that you do support, obviously your husband has had work in a lot of programs as well. But for you yourself, if I had to put, a sack of money in front of you and be like, this is the one team you can choose. I'm not going to say gun to your head because that's really violent. I don't want to do that. Or let's just say a latte of some sort in front of you. Like, you have to choose a team or I'm taking this away from you forever. Who is the one team you support in the AFLW? And yes, I'm very well aware that Essendon's goal kicking this year is probably because of a new employee that they have.
AFLW?
Yes, I know. I know you don't have a men's team yet. We'll get onto that. So we're just moving with Essendon at the moment.
It has to be Essendon.
So they're 3-0 for a specific reason, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's a great start. It's super exciting. And I do think we'll see the draw is about to get harder for us. But I think the team have also shown that they're able to win in tight contests over the last few weeks. So I think it's a huge improvement. It's amazing.
So dream time up in Darwin last week. Massive. They did it last year and they've done it again this year. And it looks like they're making a commitment to do it year on year. With someone who has somewhat of a insight into how that week would have been for the team and the squad, from your perspective as well, what's that like as well, not just for the growth of the game, but just for the impact that it can have as well?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty amazing experience. Ben was really excited to go up. They went up for 4 days, I think. Yep. And obviously all the players too, they were involved in like community, what's the word I want here? Like some community coaching sessions. I think even clinics. Some clinics. Nice. A couple of the coaches ran like leadership and coaching sessions as well for some aspiring coaches over there, which is really cool. And I think just like it's an amazing experience for the players and the staff to get to experience what that's like, to be a part of that environment, to have that, they had that beautiful ceremony all together. And that's really like emotional and special and an honour to be a part of, I think.
What's that transition been like for you and your family, going from obviously Ben being a Melbourne Premiership player, now transitioning to the coaching side of things in the AFLW? How's that been for you and your family as well?
I love it. People are like, oh, do you miss footy? No. No, sorry. I love it.
Is there a bit more balance, obviously, given the full-time nature of what his job was as a player, and obviously trying to raise a young family too, to now it's still full-time, but not as full-time, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think he's technically 4 days a week with Essendon at the moment. Technically. Yeah. It's women's sports, so we're all working more than we're paid. And he loves it, so that's fine. It's great. It's been amazing moving over. I think Ben and I both feel like a lot of acceptance within the AFLW community. Like we feel like we belong there, which is just really nice. It feels really comfortable to be a part of. And I think the coaching lifestyle is really nice for a number of reasons. I think, first of all, Ben medically retired at the end of last year. His knee is so bad. He had 9 surgeries on it over, like he would do a main training or a game and then not be able to walk up the stairs to the kids' rooms. Like it was rough. It's not a lot of fun. Yeah. So it's really nice now that he's able to give his body the rest that it needs. He's able to like live a much more normal life now in terms of like his own personal mobility and like the arthritis in his knee.
Yeah.
And Yeah, like he doesn't have to worry about it all the time. It used to be like anytime he took a funny step, it'd be like, oh no, my job, my life, my career, everything is on that one side, on that one knee. So it's really nice to take that pressure off. But I think also he's really passionate about AFLW. I think it sort of all started when I decided to follow my childhood dream and try and play women's footy. So I went down to some muggers training. I think it was just before the first AFLW season started maybe. North Melbourne didn't have a team yet, but they'd had an affiliation with the muggers for 10 years. This is the Melbourne Uni, the Melbourne Uni side. So I went down for some training and Ben came too to help out, and he sort of just started helping out at trainings there. He sort of realised they didn't have lights on at night in the facilities. So he was like, hey, guys, because he had that inside at the club, like, can we switch the lights on, please? Everyone's getting bare minimum here.
This is actually a massive insight into, like, the growth of women's sport and also just the lack of support that it gets not only at a professional level but a grassroots level. Like, who doesn't have the lights turned on?
Grassroots, that's all sports. Like, I found that when I was playing soccer, we'd be thrown on the paddock out the side with no lights, like, of course all the boys.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I was about to say they need a new footy. No, they've got one.
Yeah,
it's
they've
fine.
got one, it's fine.
So we then North Melbourne started to, like, go for their license. So they asked us to help out with the license program, and they also set up North Melbourne had a gender equity working group. So we'd meet once a month, I think it was, and sort of work on what the business and the, like, North Melbourne as a business, but also as a sporting club, what they were going to do to ensure, like, gender equity within their club, and the AFLW license and preparing for an AFLW team was a huge part of that. So we felt really privileged to be a part of that process. And then when that team came in, Ben got to have a lot of involvement, as a volunteer. And I think as well, like, AFLM salaries are such that it provides a lot of privilege. Over his time at North Melbourne and Melbourne, he was able to be a volunteer with the AFLW programs because he was paid so well to play as a man. And the fact that he had access to all of those resources, and he noticed that his colleagues in the women's players didn't have that, and he knew he could provide some of that. He could help provide some of that. So that was kind of a part of, I don't know, that real one club approach, I think. I think what can you do to help your teammates and their teammates?
Have you noticed that with some of the other clubs? Like, I think it's, without naming names, the ones that don't do it, but have you noticed with certain clubs that it is just a complete one club approach? You can see that they're all using the facilities. All of them are sort of a tighter knit group. Like, I'm a Swans fan, so I can tell from firsthand knowledge that that is a one club mentality at Sydney Swans HQ. It looks like the North team get around each other, make sure they're all supportive of each other. I know that Geelong is somewhat similar as well, as is Brisbane. So have you noticed, just from your perspective as well, obviously you did do your podcast as well, talking about AFL and AFLW. Have you noticed that sort of, what's the right word I'm looking for, that not disparity, but just the difference between certain clubs?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I think it's quite hard to know. I've definitely heard from people about some quite big disparities in that. I think in North Melbourne it was very ingrained. Like, it was so important to the fabric of North Melbourne to have that women's team. They had Lacey Harvey, the daughter of Boomer Harvey, present their submission to the AFL and really, I think, connected the teams up early. And a huge part of that was Laura Kane, who's obviously now at the AFL, who was the head of ops at North Melbourne and had been the president of the Muggers. The connection between the two programs was undeniable. And I think that's really continued to flow on, which is fantastic, obviously. I think Melbourne are pretty good at it as well. I think having the multiple facilities makes it difficult. North Melbourne is a community club in a community location. There's just the one spot. It's very much in North Melbourne. I think that difference between being at Amy Park with many other sporting clubs and codes, and then also having the Casey facility, which is like an hour away. I think that talks to the struggles
of their program overall, not having the one base at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that also helps with the, like, synergy of the teams. It hurts the synergy of the teams a little bit, sorry. But I do think you'll also find, like, within Melbourne's program, there are some players in the men's side that are really quite committed to the W side. Even yesterday at the game, the Collingwood-Melbourne game, we ran into Max Gawn and his family, and also Tom McDonald and his family. And I would say that those two attend quite a few games and have been at trainings and stuff like that. So I think sometimes it's kind of player to player as well. But I saw
Justin McInerney at Geelong on Sunday. Like the Swan season's over, and he's come to Melbourne to go to Geelong to watch the game. So that shows as well.
And you see the teams will post on socials, like when North did the unveiling of the flag, I saw Sheasel was there and he was
all there.
They're all there. Yeah, no, it's great to see.
They're on the Coke Zeros. The red cans look like Melbourne bitters. They're on Coke Zeros. I was right there. It was soft.
Definitely.
I think, with the synergy of the clubs, like the ones that are like close together in a one club mentality, it's coming out in the performance of the teams as well. So that's great to see.
Probably.
How do you maintain your own identity, obviously with your partner being a footy player? I've seen your socials and stuff. It's amazing what you're doing. How do you find that you're, paving your own way?
That's a really good question. Thanks, Spence. No, it is. I don't know. I guess
You do a lot of stuff.
And how do you manage doing everything? I also keep
marriage celebrant, podcast host, advocate, mum, footy fan. Like it's everything.
Well, we're not doing the podcast this season, so that helps me a little bit.
Yep.
I've got a little bit more time this season. But I think I like to stay busy. I think that makes me feel like me. But I also love being a parent. Like I am very much the primary caregiver for my kids. My daughter's in 2 days a week of kinder. So I have 2 days a week. But I love that. I love getting to be like, that's a huge privilege to be like the one that's there for her all the time. And for my oldest daughter too when she's not in school. But next year they'll both be in school, so I'm just like trying to work out what to do. All the spare time I'm going to have.
The podcast can come back maybe.
Yeah, true.
Or importantly, we can put some time and development into finding a men's team for you to support as well, because this is something that I got told about this morning, that you don't have a team to support yet. So there's an open canvas, and I feel like for certain reasons there are teams that we can just instantly cross off the list, and we're not going to mention names that we just say you're not going to go for them. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
But for teams that you can support, can you wait for Tasmania to come in 2028?
Tasmania will definitely be my team when they come in. How could they not be? It's a brand new team. It's got Ramon, that
thing.
Wild
that
devil.
Thing.
It is. I think it is perfectly zany. 10 out of 10 for me. I love it. It works. I'm definitely very keen on Tassie. And I think like everybody loves an underdog. And so like Tassie will start as that underdog too. And that will be appealing and fun and exciting. And Tassie has a rich football history. So it'd be nice to continue that on. But it feels weird. Like,
because you can watch games, like we watch games during the year and like we're emotionally invested. And for you, it must be freeing. Just like, oh, that was fun. Whereas like, oh, God damn it, why'd they miss? Like I can't even when I'm like, I don't care. I care.
Yeah.
Like I really care.
Alex really cares and everyone knows that.
It's been a long year.
I lost the ability, I think, to watch football, like quote unquote, the normal way over Ben's career.
Yeah, of course.
Like I started off as like I grew up watching footy. I was a Saints fan, a very like casual Saints fan.
Probably the best way to be.
Yeah, I thought I was a big fan, and then going through football, I was like, wow, no, I was not that committed. Some people are incredible, but. Yeah, like I grew up watching it and loving it. And then when Ben got drafted, it all changed really quickly for me. Like I straight away became a North Melbourne supporter. Like 1,000%. You can't really not. And a lot of people say like, how could you change teams? Like, but like what person?
You're supporting your partner. You want him to succeed at his job. So of course.
And even just like for staff, when North had that first win, the first one this year, it had been a really long time in the men's program. I felt so happy for them, just thinking about all the staff members who are going to have a nicer week at work. Like it is also a workplace. And it affects like the workplace environment that you're in. It's really hard to be in a losing environment all the time. It's draining emotionally, and there's a lot of lovely staff members just trying to do their job in there, you know? And it's just that little bit sadder. So I was very happy just thinking about them having a nicer week.
I feel like everyone was happy for North at that moment. Like I was happy for West Coast when they met St Kilda.
That was so long ago that I kind of forgot. My thing is, when teams lose, the people I feel, obviously the players and the coaching stuff, people I feel the worst for is the social media team. They're getting abused. And it's like,
man.
They don't play the game, guys.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can vent off like, we need to make this change and that change and that change, but don't go in there, start swearing and ranting and raving. Like, come on.
Yeah, people get pretty wild in the comments, don't they?
I love footy, but geez, there's a bad side to it.
And I think that has an impact too on, like I was saying, like ability to support a team.
Yeah.
When Ben was playing, I think injury was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Especially like there was one game when he was playing for North against Collingwood. Actually, it's Brodie Grundy, who's a lovely person, but accidentally completely KO'd Ben. And like we ended up in the ambulance together, like going to the hospital that night.
Yeah.
And then even just the after effects of that, I think like one of the AFL's favourite photographers must have been there because there's a photo of Ben and he's just like, it's an awful photo, but it's very expressive, if you will. So every time pretty much there's an article about
a concussion
or even worse, like the long-term impacts of concussion, they will have a photo of Ben lying flat on the MCG turf, and I'll just be scrolling Facebook and then I'm hit with it.
Yeah.
And those like future health implications are terrifying. I have friends who are going through that with their partners now. It's just awful and it's scary and it's horrible to watch. And I feel like for a really long time, every time I've watched football, I've seen someone fall over and gone, is that a knee?
Yeah.
I've seen someone hit their head and go, is that going to be one of those deeper concussions that has long-lasting impacts or not? And it's hard to feel the same way as I used to, just like watch it and enjoy it. And for me, I think AFLW really helped me fall back in love with football. I know there are like horrible injuries there as well, and it's a very physical sport, but it gave me a fresh look at it, I think, and enabled me to sort of go back to enjoying the game as just a sport.
Yeah.
And then I think, like I was saying, the other side of it is just the awful hate messages that Ben would receive, and particularly, and very, very often there's people in the DMs after because they've, it's all about multi-bets. They've incorrectly betted and then they are so angry about it that they think that they should level death threats at somebody out on the field. And so I think as well, you watch it and I think, watch a game and I'm like, oh no, that person missed a shot at the end of the game and their DMs are going to be
flooded.
So awful.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they never check. So it was hard to kind of have that separation from it again and to feel that like genuine joy. So I went to a whole bunch of games this season, men's games, a whole bunch. I went to a few men's games this season. And the last one I went to was a St Kilda game. And that was actually the most fun.
Was it the St Kilda after the siren win or no?
It was not.
St Kilda D's, oh my God. Lid would have been completely off.
It was not that. But I think that would have been like, I mean, obviously we have quite a bit of D's in history, so I think that would have been a little bit hard for me to fully get behind. It was actually North Melbourne and Essendon, which everybody was like, that wasn't a great game. But I had so much fun.
And that's all that matters.
I don't think anyone got hurt. Nothing that serious happened. There were no, like, I don't even think there were any ladder implications of the game. But I was just there having a jolly time because I had a bunch of friends to watch it with. And for the first time, I felt disconnected. Like, I'd been to see North, I'd been to see Essendon, I'd been to see Melbourne. It's hard to just let go of all the other, can't just let go of all those feelings, all those years of like supporting them, of it meaning so much, of knowing so many of the people out there and behind the scenes and caring about how they're feeling. It was nice to watch St Kilda and just be like,
That's what I find with the dub. Like, I think I do actually really like how it's still at those local grounds. Like going to Windy Hill, you just have that community atmosphere. And I think, as the game grows, just the vibe. Like you would know with the Swans, with Henson Park. I haven't been personally.
I haven't been.
But just the community and what you see, and it's like, footy's fun. Like, I think that's...
Well, I can... So obviously, I love the Swans, but when it comes to the W, I do feel like I can actually just... Except for the Swans, of course, but I can switch off. I will go and watch games of football. Like 2 Sundays ago, I went watch North and Port, 3/4 time. Like, this game's over. I'm going to drive to Windy Hill because Ella Roberts is playing Essendon, and I'm going to go watch. And I think your daughter played Auskick at halftime.
Yeah, she did.
Because I bumped into a friend of yours. Like, I need to go find Hester in the door. I was like, I'm freezing. I'm going to sit here. See ya.
On that, your daughter's showing good interest in footy?
Yeah.
My eldest is obsessed.
Love it.
Obsessed. She loves footy. She loves all the players. Like, she's very devoted.
What club is she father-daughter eligible for?
Well, I mean, if it's still one game, then both.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
it is. It's one game. It's not the 100.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the men's 100.
If it's
It's
100,
one.
then North. But if it's either otherwise.
there you go.
There you go. North wouldn't be too bad.
Do you know what? I'm actually, because I know like the Suns, they get call up from the teams quite early. I'm surprised I haven't had any call up yet.
Yeah.
My daughters are gigantic. They are huge. I am going to be the smallest member of my family. I'm just under 6 foot. Like, they're big.
So we're waiting for the academy call.
Academy call.
When Essendon and North set up their W academies.
Well, actually, I had to explain to Isla that she wouldn't be eligible for Essendon just because there's a coach there, not a player.
Yeah.
But no, she loves it. She's devoted. All the girls are, like, across all the teams, they've all been incredible to my kids. Like, my kids get picked up and taken into the song by Bonnie Toogood this week. Like, can you
Friend
believe?
of the pod, Bonnie Toogood.
Can you believe?
So a friend of mine, his daughter got to run out with the Swans on Sunday, hand in hand with Chloe Malloy.
Even I won't do that. I'm not even a Swans fan.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
I'm not even a Swans fan. I'm not
but like,
doing
got to
that.
run out. She's got the Indigenous Guernsey on that's going down over her knees. Has run out the Swans. It's all signed. This love and the Swans media have sent him all the photos and everything. It's just like his daughter now has a memory for life, and it's like she's going to be besotted with football now.
They won't forget that.
Yeah.
And they won't forget feeling a part of it. Like I always say, my kids don't remember a time where there wasn't AFLW. How incredible.
Yeah.
And like my kids have been obviously like really deeply involved in AFLW for the whole time it's been going. What an upbringing.
Yeah.
How cool.
They know they can play footy.
They know it's
They know
possible.
they can play footy.
I was talking to my daughter, this was like a couple of months ago, we were in the car and we've got a local ground just next to us where my kids do Auskick and it's great and they have girls' games out on the weekend. So sometimes we just walk across and watch the girls play. It's awesome. And I said to my daughter, you know, because I was asking her, do you want to continue on after Auskick? She was saying, yeah, definitely, definitely. It's like, yeah, great. So you might even get to play here one day. And she goes to me, oh, Mum, actually, I'd prefer the MCG.
Fair.
Dream big.
Dream big. I mean,
Dream big.
one day.
One day. It's going to happen.
With that, do you believe the grand final should be held at Marvel Stadium every year?
Yeah.
It needs to be.
I'm just going to keep my campaign going.
Yeah, 100%. 100% it should be.
Yeah.
I will personally, AFL, if you can make this happen, I will personally commit to filling 100 seats.
That's a good start.
Right here, that's my pledge. We'll all commit.
We could have sold 20,000 seats last year very easily, and you can get the lower bowl done.
Yeah.
Look, if the Swans make it, I know of a certain podcast that gets about 10,000 listens a month. We can get the faithful there.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people. If North Melbourne make it, they'll pack it out because North haven't seen a grand final since 1999.
We will.
By.
We will pack it out.
Yeah.
And I think give the players the opportunity to play on that turf, in that environment.
We look at some of the weekend's games, like the best game of the weekend as pure football. Like we saw some massive scores. The best pure footballing game of the weekend was at GMHBA. The weekend before, the best games were at actual grounds as well.
Yep.
Always gonna happen.
I think it's 6 of the 7 highest scores ever have been kicked at stadiums, and the other one's at Fremantle Community Oval, which is a waffle ground anyway. You put these games on at proper stadiums, you see better football. It's like, this and that. It's like, yes, well, you go and try and kick goals at Frankston on a Saturday night in July.
Where the wind is blowing.
Yeah.
At least we've got the fixturing sorted out. No midweek footy last year.
I know, I'm on board with midweek footy, just not 5 o'clock at Frankston.
But no one can get
Nobody's
there.
on board with that.
Yeah,
I'm a sicko though. I want to watch footy every day.
night, yeah.
I will watch AFLW every day.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
100%. And I will go to any game. I don't care who's playing. I will go.
I just don't want to go to Frankston.
No one wants to
on
go.
a
We're
Wednesday,
trying to
5
improve
o'clock.
crowds and maybe midweek.
That's hard. I mean, who's...
Yeah.
That's what I
Do
mean.
we not
5
work?
o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon is
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Whereas if you're like, we're going to play at Icon Park at 7 on a Tuesday, I'm like, I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I'd go to that.
It's around the corner. We can get there.
I love Icon
This is
Park.
my big thing. I I want marquee AFLW matches to be played on a Monday night at 6:45 at Icon Park.
Wow.
Because it's similar to Monday Night Football in America, where it's if you build it, they will come. But if you start putting big games on, or even if you did it in Sydney or whatever as well, if you put big games on, people will keep attending because the good thing about W at the moment, games go for 2 hours. You can be home by 9:30. I know it's a school night.
It's great. I agree with that.
But if you start it at 6:45, you can get there. And with when the games are on, you're not clashing with the men's, which is what we've seen in the first few weeks, where they had 5 games on at the same time last week and I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
I give you $20 right now to be in charge of the AFLW. What are the 3 things you're bringing in to fix the game? Like, not to fix the game, to make it better.
Great question.
Yeah.
How much money are you giving me?
$20. I reckon.
$20. We'll do anything for $20 is what we like.
It's the running gag.
Wait, I need a bit more.
My pitch to Laura Kane is, I will do this for $20. Give me an hour, and I will improve this game out of sight.
Okay. Yeah, to start with, like I said, I love the game where it is. I love everything that it is and everything that it brings to me and the community. It is incredible. It doesn't need my saving. I'm not an expert. However,
I have ideas.
if I could, I think the big one is the alignment of the 2s and the 1s. So the AFLW players that are not selected are playing scrimmage matches at the moment. Those are quite difficult to organise.
Yeah.
They're like across club. It's very hard for players to get the game time that they need or play in the positions that they need. We're hearing sometimes players come back and they're like, oh no, they wouldn't, I couldn't do that because they needed blah, blah, blah. Like we had like one of our midfielders playing ruck in the scrimmage the other week because there wasn't.
Technically, she was in the midfield. Just got to jump.
Just got to jump.
If not midfield, why midfield shape?
Yeah.
Look, a little different. Yeah. And I think as well, like it's really makes it harder to come back from injuries.
Yeah.
It's hard to not have that feeder team and the coach that you're aligned with your coaching. And there's so many reasons why we have the AFL and the VFL aligned. And I think we could do that in women's and that would really assist the athletes. Because I think like that's my major concern is like, what do the athletes need? They're the one putting on this incredible show for us. What's going to make it better for them? So I would say line up the seasons.
Yep.
That's really important to me.
Double
I would say more money. Give them more money.
Yeah.
And I know some people will hate that, but I think it's like you were saying, if you build it, they will come, and we need to have, if we're expecting professional results, we need to have professional pay for our athletes.
I agree. What's your opinion on like curtain raisers if it was to be aligned with the men's season?
Or even after the game, if there's the 1:15 game, you can play at 4:30.
Interesting. I've thought about it a lot. And I feel like I don't have a strong opinion on it. And again, for me, it comes back to what do the players want.
Yeah.
Like, I would want that to be like canvas through the PA. And
ones I've talked to, some of them are like, yes, I want to do it, whereas others are like, I don't want to play before or after where there's 100 people that have hung around because I don't want that. Whereas if we're getting 5,000 people at our oval, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Having a lot of people leaving straight after the men's game, it's also the looks, it's the aesthetic of it too, which is a thing. Whereas in time, I think we're going to get there. My big thing is 18 versus 18.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Why aren't we there yet? Like
that's my big one at the moment. Like VFLW, every other competition around the country is 18 versus 18. Why isn't the premier competition 18 versus 18? It's like, it'll create more, stoppages and stuff like that. Watching these games on the weekend, there's a lot of kicking to nowhere because you need to kick the footy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's where that person would be if there was 18 versus 18.
Like that's where number 17 would have been.
Yeah.
Like that's where your forward
she would have been coming out.
Your forward pocket would be taking a marquee and then the game would keep flowing. So that's my big thing. Now, my final question is, on a rating of 1 to your husband's goal kicking accuracy, can you tell me when couples are going to last or not when you're doing the wedding celebrant?
Oh.
Because he obviously was a very accurate goal kicker is the gag. For all those playing at home. I would have had from length of run up, but that didn't really work. Like, can you tell when these are going to work out on when weddings are going to work out or not long term?
Do you know what? I don't think I ever really take stock of that before a wedding happens. Like, it's something that I'm just like so immersed in their story, and what they need out of their day. And I think what comes after their wedding is something that most of the time I'm really lucky I do get to follow along. Like, thanks to social media, I do get to see people's stories continue. And I always, always, always run into my couples at the AFLW.
Oh, I love
the Venn diagram of people I marry and people who support AFLW is a circle. So yesterday at the game, I saw 2 couples, one that I'm marrying at the end of this year and one that I married last year, and they're pregnant, and they were telling me all about how they're about to have a baby. I know. Chloe and Justin, congratulations. Yeah. It's so nice. And I think, honestly, I have a pretty good marriage retain rate.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
return customers?
No return customers. Although bring back vow renewals. I want to see more people get married to the same person again. Yeah, but I also think as well, life has so many twists and turns, and you never know where you're going to end up. You never know how one story is going to continue or end, or what's going to come next. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, I hope people never look at their celebrant and think they would judge me if I wasn't still married to the person I married them to. Like, again, sorry, this is me being serious again. And why do I always do this? But yeah, like, life is so unpredictable, and I love the idea of people getting a second chance as well. And
in the most selfish podcast question that's ever going to be asked, but if someone, hypothetically speaking, needed a celebrant who gets relationships and brings out the magic, how would they get in touch with you? Just asking for a friend. That friend is me.
Hi, me. Nice to meet you. I'm on social media. That's how most people find me, I would say, which is really cool because it means like the AFLW thing, like we connect. We have stuff we connect over. I get emails from people. I remember I got this email once, and it was a bride, and she was like, I just think we would be friends. And then I met her, and I was like, oh, I want to be her friend forever. I feel like people just somehow understand me. I'm like, yes, I do love you.
I feel like that's a common thing these days, especially with like females. They'll just like see a girl on social media, like, I want to be friends with her and DM her, and it happens.
Yeah, 100%. I love making friends on the internet. It's like you already know so much about each other.
This is everything our parents told us not to do.
Safely. But I'm on social media. Most people find me there, and I have a website, and you can look me up.
I do want to know, if you had to create the perfect wedding ceremony using only AFL metaphors.
Or cliches.
What would it be? Just like a sentence or two.
Has
this been done before or been requested?
How many AFL gags have you slipped in there?
This is such a funny question. I often see, like, in celebrant groups, people will be like, oh, I've got a couple and they're really obsessed with footy. Has anyone got any good points for me?
Hello.
No, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I am steering clear of this. Like, I'm way too connected to get involved in this. But every now and then, I think for me, like, it's just like a little bit of a jab at someone's football team. I think that's like the perfect little addition.
That's witty.
Or the opposite. Like, often I'll marry people who are like Melbourne or North Melbourne supporters, so I'll just talk about how like superior their taste is. You know?
We've covered everything. We've gone from weddings to football to fixing the AFLW. We still haven't found you a footy team, but I think we'll get there. But thanks for joining us on AFLW today, Hess.
Thanks so much for having me. It was so nice to chat.
Thank you. That was great.